Alright, welcome back to Blackacre Ranch, everybody. Alright, so this video is going to be a wee bit different. As you noticed from the last episode, my wife said I was picking up a toy or a tool or something like that. Well, this is what it is, and this came in that same day, and I was able to go pick up a squeeze chute. So, we took all this video. We're going to show you kind of us unloading it, because this sucker is heavy, alright? This guy was not light. It's 2,700 pounds. And, yeah, so it took a lot to do this. So, actually where I'm at right now is a concrete pad. You'll notice here on the map that we're outside of the handling facility. Okay, the handling facility is actually behind the camera, and we're not inside that pen. And the reason why is because the pen didn't have a concrete pad. Okay, and this sucker is going on concrete. I am not going to lift this sucker ever again, and where we put it is where it is exactly going to stay. So we're going to leave it here, and in fact we're making some changes on moving the pen outside and some other stuff. We'll share that with you later on as we build this handling facility and the reason why we're doing that and all that, so forth. So anyway, I'm actually trying to back up off this pad, get out of the way, even though you can't see the concrete pad, and then we're going to start kind of clearing that off and getting it prepped for unloading of that chute. I do have to say that the kids definitely step up here and start weed whacking. Talmadge is doing a good job doing that. Little Chica, she's got the shovel. Charlotte's getting everything pulled if you can. And it's just a matter of clearing it off. This slab has actually a bunch of cracks in it. You can see Sandra's shovel right there. The sand just comes up through these cracks, and the plants start growing. And we had actually cleared off this slab. The first week we ever started doing videos, we were clearing off this slab. And you know, it's not perfect, but it's going to have to do, because it's just a lot. We're actually focusing on the pad to the left of the screen here, not so much where the truck is sitting, because we're going to put the chute as far to the left as we can, reasonably. And so I'm not too worried about the part where Talmadge to his right now. It was good for Talmadge to suggest this blower, but you can see just how much sand is all over the top of this pad, and it's thick. We have pretty sandy soil. If you're wondering, the dimensions of this pad is about, I think, 60 feet wide, and it's 25 feet deep, so it's rather large. I don't know what the purpose of in the old days with the camp was for. It's not a volleyball, it's not a tennis court, so I'm not sure what it was they used it for, but it does have a bunch of cracks, as Talmadge is showing you right here. It does have cracking through it in different types, but for the most part it's fairly level, and we're going to use it. That's where the buffalo are going to be coming across. All across this guy. Here I come in my big green tractor. Thought I'd pick up some forks, and my daughter, which I don't remember why she was over there, but I brought her back. So, make her go through all the weeds. now that everything's cleared off, I had Sandra mark the spot where I wanted to drive up to, because we're trying to orient this guy on the trailer, the spot that we want the chute. So I'm trying to drive right to where the handle is on the ground, and she's trying to direct me. And of course, at some point she has to move. But this is all kind of spitball measurements right now, but I'm driving straight, and the idea is if we can pick up that chute, move the trailer out, and just put it on the ground, it'll be approximately where we want it. That's hopefully the goal.
A little more. 3 feet. A little bit. Okay.
Talmadge's job is to make sure that I'm far enough forward. Of course, I'm going to come in and inspect it. Naturally, I'm going to say it's probably not perfect, and you know, he did a good job. It was just a different spot. He was going, I think, off the white dot between my legs right there, but he did good. So I'm just going to move it forward a wee bit. No big deal, and all will be good. In fact, that's probably further forward than I was going to do it if it was me, but whatever. You know, what difference does it make? Alright, so we're just going to untie this stuff. Now, we've been strapped up through the top, and they do have some pallet fork spots. You know, it's just C-channel that's welded at the top that you're allowed to go ahead and lift it from. And my tractor is obviously taller than the...
Yeah, I think we got room, no problem.
Exactly, right, I've got room.
It's only got so much lift up there.
And she's right.
I'm going to show them, they've got what I would call pallet.
Slots.
Yeah. Do you have a tape measure?
Yeah, and see, even after this much time, I still don't have a better name for it. So the point is, we've got to measure it to make sure that our forks are sized appropriately.
So that's where those pallet forks are going to slide in.
Two and a half feet.
Alright.
Alright, so Charlotte went ahead and she measured that, moved the pallet forks over. We're all set. I'm just aligning my tractor, and now it's coming up and trying to get them in there, and Talmadge is my spotter. Alright, now I gotta tell you, this is pretty stressful. And this is nerve-wracking because I know I'm at the height of my capacity here, okay?
I'm going to lift it. I want to be level, so I'm going to aim it at my side so I butt up against the top of the bracket. Then I'm going to tilt the front to match it.
So as I was saying, I'm at the top limits, okay? My tractor can lift it higher, but not at this weight. This weight is pretty much max. And so I'm having to communicate with Talmadge here about how we can make sure that we can wiggle this. I was hoping I had more lift at this reach, but it's just not. At 2,700 pounds, I think my max is like 30 or 3,000 or 3,300, but I mean, this is like 7 or 8 feet. Yeah, I don't want Charlotte moving, and Talmadge was going to like move her. And I don't think I'm off the ground enough of the trailer. So even at full throttle here, what happens is I can curl the forks, but I can't lift the arms higher. And so I've got to find a way is how can I get it so I can get the side closest to me up and then curl to lift the bottom. And I finally find out later on how to do that. The bottom will wiggle out forward and back from where I'm sitting there, But when it wiggles, because it's not quite 100% level up top, one of the sides keeps catching on the trailer. So I can only get like 1/8 of an inch, if that, on one side, and then the other side doesn't, or it contacts. I'm seeing if he could wiggle it to know if it's clear. You know, some of the struggle with all of this is the communication. We don't. Yeah, we don't do this all the time. Hand signals and gestures, and then the loudness of the tractor means that we have to kind of scream at each other. And it makes it difficult. And it's just, you gotta really try and be patient.
Okay, there's thin pieces of wood that'll give me at least a 1/2 inch.
On your
Put it between the fork and the bracket. So the tractor's getting it up there and it wiggles it just barely, that it's barely coming off the ground on the trailer. But not enough for me to have her pull it out, because she's not level and it's going to move. And the tractor won't lift it any higher, even at full throttle. So we're going to put between the fork and the top of the bracket, we're going to put a piece of wood, hopefully about 3/4 inch. That'll give me hopefully a little bit extra space, if it'll still pick it up that far. But if that doesn't work, we're going to maybe have to come out and pick a different spot. Or I don't know, drain the tires on the trailer, I don't know, something. But we're going to get some wood and put it underneath. I can edit out the between, I just need to see it put it in.
This gives you a good top view here, what we're dealing with.
front two are good, but the back one is not.
Yeah, I'm not making much difference here. Like, to make it easier, Tom was just coming over just to talk. And I'm just trying to see at what point do we eventually get some wiggle here that I'm not touching on any of the four. I don't care how much space, but just as long as I'm not touching. Grant comes in to save the day. Which is good. I'm glad he's there to help, because he's going to do some stuff later on. If I remember right, I think Grant here is trying to propose either jumping or standing on the back of the trailer to try and sag it down even more. I just have a hard time when the kids are going to be on this trailer if I'm moving it, and if it got caught or tried to flip the tractor, that I wouldn't want the kids on that trailer at the same time. But as you can see, his idea could work. And actually, we will employ that later on.
Is that side up enough?
No, you need to get it back up again.
It's locked. This one's still on, this one's still on.
Yeah, same.
It's nice to have the two boys helping, one on each side, so that we can see all four, or get the assessment of all four corners at one time.
This side is off now.
Yeah, this one's off. This is off.
Okay, this one off. Yeah. Good. Okay, Bob, go forward slow.
There.
A little bit.
Really slow, please. Slow, slow, slow. We don't have a lot of room.
Back up! Hey, stop!
Believe me, it's more tense than you'd think, right? And it's not super easy to go slow. Okay, so Talmadge himself is not enough to do it.
Stand on it! Stand on it! Okay, go forward!
Alright, now they're both going to do it. And literally, we are getting caught between the wood and the back of the trailer. Like, we don't have a lot of room. Alright, see? And then it's done. Put that sucker down. Now, I honestly, if there's ever a time I thought I should have gotten a smaller tractor, it's not true, okay? I am so glad I got the bigger tractor that I could possibly get, okay? It is, I could have gone even larger, but that would have just been insane. But out of this model size and style and frame, $6 more to get the one that's 10 more horsepower, I'm glad I got it, and the capacity. I've never wished I didn't have the capacity. It's down. It's all good. Yeah, they're not too thrilled with that.
Oh my gosh, man. I never want to move that thing like that again.
And that's my assessment. So it's going to stay. Which means the handling facility will now be around this, not inside that pen.
I want to be up under it enough that I can get the whip on it.
So right now, I'm just trying to center it straight, or align it straight with the pad, and we can only see so much. I don't want to go under too far that I hit the scales underneath that are built in. I might have done that on accident. I'm trying not to, but I'm just trying to swivel the back end over a little bit. Yeah, so it generally looks good. You know, we don't have the concrete all edged out to know exactly where the size of the concrete is either, so it's really just a crapshoot. You're just going to take your guess, put it there. If we have to move it later on, we could try and wiggle it some, but for now, I think it looks good.
Am I stuck in something?
Yeah, I'm binding a little bit.
I'm gonna back up. Yeah, back up.
That's Talmadge's Superman pose. Alright, that's it. Hey, so we're going to leave it here, guys. Glad you could join along with us. This was an adventure, stressful. It's done. Don't want to do it very often, but I appreciate the help from everybody. We're wrapping up, and we will check you guys next time. See ya.